They were all part of Mutt's Superfan Roundtable show. They had to compete against other Superfans in order to get here on the final destination to find out who the true Superfan of the year is. Let me introduce you to Matt, Steve, and Gina. Hello, everyone.
Morning.
Hi.
Morning. Anybody have any nerves? Matt, how are your nerves? Why am I not hearing you? Once again, I have screwed up. All right, go ahead. Why am I not... talk about your nerves. Are you nervous?
You know what? I was nervous walking in here, like outside, walking into the building, but once I got inside, everyone was so cool. Like, Artie and Gary came into the green room, talked to us. Artie gave us a DVD, signed it.
Matt's from Boston, I take it, when you say Artie?
Yes.
Right. Steve, what about you? How are the nerves?
Doing pretty good.
You're all right.
Absolutely.
Not a big deal to be on the radio.
Yeah, it's old hat.
Okay. Gina, what about you? Hi.
Hi. Nerves are shot.
Nerves are shot. A little bit nervous.
Yeah.
Try to stay calm. This is a big deal. This is for $5,000. Matt, what do you do for a living? Are you independently wealthy, or could you use $5,000?
I could use $5,000. I own a snack distribution business for Utz potato chips.
Oh, nice. I hear you guys make a pretty good living.
Yeah, it goes good.
Yeah.
It's all gluten-free, too, Robin. All the chips are gluten-free.
Yeah, I like the unsalted Utz.
Yeah, they're very
Robin
good.
does not eat salt unless she's in France.
And I got a baby on the way.
Salt in France.
On your French fries?
They do not salt the French fries in France. I keep telling you that.
Good for you, Robin. Matt, I wish you luck today. Steve, I'll get back to you in a minute. Steve, what about you? What kind of living do you make?
I'm a photographer. I run 2 moto photos in Jersey. So portrait photography, digital imaging, that sort of thing.
$5,000, that would come in handy.
Yeah.
What would you use the money for if you win?
Buy somebody an iron lung or kids on vacation, something to that
Gina,
effect.
what about you?
I'm a human resources consultant. Business.
You make a lot of money?
Not in this economy.
$5,000 is going to be a nice little prize.
Going to help a whole lot.
I want to thank our friends at Beck's Beer for the $5,000 prize, and let's find out a little bit about our competitors. Matt, you went on Mutt's show how many months ago?
It was like a month ago, and I got on against another guy, and I kind of lucked out because the other guy got a bunch wrong, and I got like 4 right.
I see. So you did okay.
Yeah, I good enough to win.
Good enough to win and be qualified for this Superfan contest.
Yep.
All right. And make sure you keep an eye on Steve. He's staring at me like a mental patient. All right. All right, Matt, listen to me. It's all right, Steve. You can stare at me. Believe me. When I look in the mirror, I stare at it, too. How long have you been a fan of the Howard Stern show?
My father used to tape the Channel 9 show in the early 90s. That was the first time I was really aware of you.
Right.
And when you came on BCN in Boston, probably around 94, I started listening to you then.
So anything before 94, you're probably a little shaky on.
Most likely, but I mean, a lot of stuff you have talked about over the past 10 years, so, you know.
Steve, when you hear a guy started listening in 94, what does that indicate to you? Is he an easy opponent?
I laugh at him.
You do. When did you start listening?
I've actually been listening since NBC.
NBC years, wow.
Literally in the past 15 years, I think I've missed one show.
One show?
Yeah. Maybe 2.
Gina, do you laugh at a guy who's only been listening since 94, or are you in the same boat?
No, I've been listening since WNBC, since you came to NBC.
So you have a real distinct advantage over Matt, don't you?
I do, but I'm very nervous.
Matt, what's the problem? Your headphones not working?
It's going, I can hear you in and out.
Yes, well, that's what usually happens around here. Scott's been setting up for about 2 months, and
I don't want to get him in trouble.
And there's always a problem. All right, let's get back to you, Matt. I hope this doesn't distract you too much, even though everyone's working on your headphones while I talk to you, but the show moves on, as you know. It's a very professional show. Is that a little better on your headphones now?
Yeah, so far, so good.
Okay, good. All right. Let's talk about the fact that you once went to see Artie at a comedy show. You're such a fan, you went to support Artie.
7 years ago, Comedy Connection in Boston.
And Artie yelled at you during the show. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I was drunk, and it was right after that Tiger Woods bet that he made. Where he bet $5,000 Tiger Woods wouldn't win.
Right.
And I kept yelling out Tiger Woods. I was being annoying. I yelled out Dirty Work. I yelled out Mad TV. And then you were like, dude, it was funny the first time. You wouldn't like it if I kept calling your girlfriend the C word. And
wow.
that was when we first started dating. She's here, actually. But
as a super fan, is it a great thing when Artie says you wouldn't like it if I called your girlfriend the C word? In other words, that's the greatest acknowledgement, to get to some interaction with Artie.
Oh, I was thrilled just to get on his radar.
Right.
But she was pissed off at me for a while.
So heckling Artie, yeah, she probably thought you were a douchebag.
Oh,
right?
I can't believe she stayed with me for the 7 years.
But heckling Artie was kind of a good move because you got interaction between you and Artie.
Oh, yeah, I still talk about it to this day.
And that's every superfan's need to somehow get involved with the show.
That's how much of a loser I am.
You say some of the things you love about the show. One in particular is Eric the Midget.
You gotta make Eric, if you stay on after this contract's up, you gotta have an Eric 102. I love Eric the Midget.
Why is Eric the Midget so controversial? There are people, I read the email every day. There are people who love Eric the Midget and people who hate Eric the Midget. There's almost no in between. What is it you love about Eric the Midget? Because I'm in your camp.
I think Jimmy Kimmel says it best when he's like, the way Eric gets on the phone and talks to Howard as if he's an equal and yells at him, and it's like there's awkward silences. I mean, I could listen to it all day. I go on YouTube and listen to, there's some guy that puts up clips of every time he calls in.
Right.
I sit there for hours at night listening to clips of Eric the Midget bitch about this and that. I mean,
Eric, do you hear this? You're getting accolades from a super fan. You have a fan.
Thank you, Mike.
It's Matt.
Hey, Eric, I love you. I love you.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me an awkward silence. I mean,
is that your favorite when he just kind of it takes him a long time to rev up and say something?
This is as big as if John Lennon came from the dead and talked to me.
Wow.
I mean, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, Eric the Midget, and Howard Stern, Artie Lang.
Were you ever a part of his website when he was doing his? I forget what it was called.
I'm not that big of a loser to go on to stick him, but
oh yeah, when he was doing that American Idol show?
I was friends with him on MySpace, and then
he got booted.
I sent him an email about something, and he sent me this big message about how I'm cleaning up my friends, and you're one of them that I'm cleaning up. This long email. I'm like,
so he threw you off MySpace?
Yeah, and then I sent him another request, and he just wouldn't answer it. Like, he knows who I am. Like, Eric, will you acknowledge me now, and can I be your friend? I love you.
Yeah, I have no problem if your friend requests me again.
All right, Eric, and flying with the balloons, that's my dream come true. That is my dream come true.
Please, a lot of people say that.
Fly with balloons.
Do you tell him that in the email? That's when he gets in.
Well, he went through my pictures, and I do have a picture of balloons.
Right.
And he put under it, "These will never be attached to me. ... capital letters, ever."
Ever. Eric, you could see your fans who love you even get burned by you. You are very difficult to be a friend with.
Silence.
I really don't think I am.
All right. Eric, before I move on, because this is a big contest, I know you were on hold for a while. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Yes, I was on hold to say sorry to Artie for last week.
Wow, that's very nice.
Apology accepted, Eric. Thank you.
Wow, that's a big deal.
Eric had been a little rough on Artie because Eric was looking forward to making his stand-up debut.
Well, no. That was the original reason. But I was getting one side of a two-sided story, and the one side I was getting was making it sound like Artie was ripping.
All right, you know what? Even Matt is having a good time right now, and he loves it, and he's quelling as you tell your story. But
this is about the Superfan.
This is about the Superfans.
Competition.
And Eric, I'm going to say that was awfully big of you to call in and apologize to Artie. Artie, you do accept the apology?
Absolutely, and I would never rip anybody off. I'm very professional.
What are you eating right now, Artie, so people know?
Bacon and eggs.
Bacon and eggs.
Oh.
Eric, accept me. Matt Ryan. I love you.
Yeah, Will, and before he lets me go, good luck to you in this contest.
Hey, thanks, Eric.
All right. What about the rest of you? Steve, are you an Eric the Midget fan, or are you one of those people that just can't stand when Eric calls in?
I love to hate him. He's just so ungrateful for everything you've done to him. Just annoying.
So he's annoying.
The annoying midget.
There you have it. Yeah, right. I mean, if he said thanks once in a while, I'd be a lot better with him.
Did a call like today earn a lot of points for Eric with you?
Absolutely, in the hate column. Again, first of all, he wished Matt good luck. Who cares about Matt?
Right.
It's all about me.
Thanks, Eric.
Gina, are you a fan or not a fan of Eric the Midget segments?
How can you not be a fan of him?
I
mean, even if you hate him, you have to be a fan of him.
Right.
He's
all right.
great.
Eric, those are good reactions from the super fans. And we'll talk to you again at some point. He'll be mad at me that I just hung up on him. You also, Matt, to finish up, you got to meet Hank the Angry Dwarf before he died, which is a huge thing.
Yeah.
To meet him was really special.
It was like a week before he died.
Right. And you have a girlfriend who is 7 months pregnant. You're not marrying her? You're just going to knock her up and not marry her?
Well, we've been together for 8 years. It's like we're married.
Why won't you marry her?
Because neither one of us believe in marriage. She never really has. I had you talking for 10 years about how not getting married, and then... But, I mean, I don't know.
He left you high and dry, right?
Well, you know, we're in love, and she's here. She's 7 months pregnant. We're going to name him Jacoby.
Why not Howard? I mean, why?
You know what? I said that, and she scoffed at the idea.
Really?
She didn't want to do it. I don't know.
But, you know, I don't understand why more I'm talking about super fans. Why wouldn't they name their children Howard?
Emily, if you're listening, I mean, Howard Stern himself is saying it, so.
Yeah, really, I request that. All right, let's find out about Steve. Matt, thank you and wish you luck today.
Thanks.
Steve, similarly, you are a super fan. You went on Mutt Show how many weeks, months ago?
Again, about 3-4 weeks ago.
3-4 weeks ago. You competed against how many people?
Just one.
Just one. Did you kick this person's ass or was it close?
Unlike Matt, I got 5 out of 5.
You were like right on target.
Oh, absolutely.
It was not a problem for you.
Sure.
Right. And any years of the Howard Stern Show, you were very, very with it. You know about the NBC years.
Absolutely.
You know the Channel 9 years. You know it all. All
Yep.
right. And it said in your notes that you're such a super fan that you plan your vacations around the show's schedule.
Yeah, I mean, it's been getting tougher and tougher. I mean, actually, with the 10 weeks, it's a little bit easier, you know, that sort of thing. But like I said, I haven't missed a show in probably about 15 years. I make, you know, plans to tape it if I have to miss it. I have my employees trained on how to tape the show on the stiletto, that sort of thing.
Wow, that's fantastic. And you say you were the first in line at the book signing for Robin?
Yeah, absolutely.
Among your other accomplishments, you had a small role in my movie Private Parts.
I'm in the crowd scene.
You were in the crowd scene, AC/DC.
Yep.
You also say that you are married for 18 years.
Yes.
And you have 3 kids. So you're not some kook. You own a business.
Yeah, he's a working
To make that
man.
point, everyone tries to point out that we are some sort of fringe show where normal people can't listen to us. You seem very normal, right, Steve?
Well, looks can be deceiving.
All right. Steve, thank you. And I wish you a lot of luck.
Thanks. Thank you.
Now, Gina, you have been listening to the show since the NBC days, like you said.
Yep.
You listen almost every day. And your favorite person on the show is who?
Fred.
Fred. Matt, who's your favorite person on the show?
I'd have to say Artie, with Benji a close second.
Benji.
I like all the stuff Benji does, like screaming, like with the Scream rally. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah. Do you think there should be more Benji?
I do. I love that.
You love that.
There's got more Benji stuff. I mean, send him out on the street every day to mess with people.
Oh,
I think Benji has slowed down. He's not doing as much.
Benji's hard to motivate. I'll be honest with you. You guys own businesses. You know what that's like. Very, very difficult.
It's all that salad he eats.
Steve,
I
what
saw
about
his
you?
trough when he walked out.
Gina has her favorite. Who's your favorite?
Fred.
Fred. Why Fred?
First off, he's so talented, and I just think he's so adorable. I wish he'd stand up so I could see him.
Fred, stand up so Gina can... Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Thank you, Fred.
Want to change your mind, Matt?
Steve, who's your favorite on the show?
I'd have to go with Artie and Richard Christie. Hey.
Richard Christie.
Hey,
All right. That's good. All right. You go to the Killers of Comedy shows,
Yes,
Gina?
I do.
You've met Beetlejuice.
Many, many, many times.
What was that like? As you know, on Howard TV right now, the Beetlejuice reality show is in full swing. We're on episode number 4. It's getting very, very high ratings for us.
It's awesome.
Yes.
It's definitely awesome.
What was it like when you met Beetlejuice?
I've known Beetle for years. He's such a sweetheart.
Is that a big deal to a superfan to attach yourself to a whackpacker where they get to know you?
I don't know if it's become a little bit more than that. Like, he knows me when he sees me.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm friends with Bob Levy, so I kind of see them outside of that whole realm of comedy shows, too.
Do you feel that you are a bigger superfan than Matt and Steve just based on your associations with, let's say, Bob Levy or Beetlejuice because you have personal relationships with people
also
from the show?
because I live close by and I get to go to a lot of... I was at Beetle Bash a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, you were at Beetle Bash?
I was at Beetle Bash. I mean, you know, I've been to a lot of...
how did you do when you were on Superfan Roundtable? How many weeks ago were you on?
I was on done 2 weeks ago.
And how did you do? Did you just trounce your competition?
I think I did real well.
Yeah, and did you get all 5 questions right?
I think I got 4 out of 5.
All right, that's not bad.
I missed one.
Steve, you got 5 out of 5. Matt, you didn't do as well.
I think I got 3 out of 5.
All right, well.
Steve sounds tough, I'll tell you.
Yeah, Steve looks awfully confident, Gina. Are you most worried about Steve in this competition?
I'm not worried about anybody.
All right.
I'm the young buck in this thing.
Yeah.
They're both older.
By the way, as super fans, I think you'll all be really pleased to know that next week we are presenting you with a special called the Best of 2009 Countdown. Spider Harrison himself,
Really?
the king of countdowns, from Sirius XM Hits 1 will be your host. Spider will count down the best show segments of the year all week.
Oh, that's great.
And I happen to know what the #1 segment is.
Really?
And I think you'll be surprised of the #1 segment on the show. So Spider Harrison's going to have a big countdown next week.
How did they determine?
They have polling that they do. It's very scientific. There's nothing left to chance around here. It's very professional. Also, let me remind you that Thanksgiving Day on Howard 101 at 3 p.m. Eastern, it's Thanksgiving with Sour Shoes. I am so looking forward to this. Sour Shoes is one of my favorites, and we're dropping a live microphone in Sour's house. This is going to happen Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, and you will get to be in the home with his parents and Sour Shoes. Any of you Sour Shoes fans? Yes. Steve, Sour Shoes? Yes or no? You like him?
Absolutely. I can do a better one.
Oh, I love him.
By the way, it's 7 p.m. East. It's the Cranberry Best with Ralph Cirella. Ralph takes you to his favorite Stern Show moments. So there's going to be a lot of year-in-review type programming going on in addition to Sour Shoes. All right, it's time to play. It's time to find out who's going to win the $5,000 and who has the bragging right to say they are the #1 super fan in the country of the Howard Stern Show. Let me tell you how this is going to work. I'm going to ask you a question. You write down your answer. When I say put your pens down, you must put your pens down. And then I'm going to ask you for your answer. We're going to start out with some easy questions. They're each worth 5 points. These should be no problem for any super fan, Robin.
All right.
Now, for the average guy sitting at home, these might be a problem, but not if you're a super fan. Come on.
These are tough questions?
All right. These are easy questions for the super fans.
Steve's got an advantage over me. He's only missed 1 or 2 shows. I've missed a bunch.
That's right. Artie's missed more shows than you. All right, here we go. We're going to start with an easy one that concerns Robin. What is Robin Quiver's middle name? Now, if you're a super fan, this is nothing. Everyone is writing quickly. Matt looks like he's scribbling and then crossing out. He's drawing a little bit of a blank.
I'm having a spelling problem.
Don't worry about spelling so much. You don't have to spell it right, as long as we get the idea. Steve's pen is down. Gina's pen was immediately down. Matt's pen is now down. All right, let's go to Matt first for 5 points. Matt, what do you have?
Ophelia.
Ophelia is correct. Let's go to Steve. Steve, what do you have?
Ophelia.
Ophelia is right. And Gina, what do you have?
Ophelia.
Ophelia is correct. Everyone has 5 points.
Everybody on the board.
All right, here's another easy one. How many children does Howard have? This is only for 5 points. It's an easy one. How many children does Howard have? All right, let's go to... Steve's still writing. All right, Steve. I get a feeling Steve is bragging by actually writing the kids' names down.
Right, I think so. I think that's what's going on.
All right, Gina, what was the answer?
3.
3 is correct. Steve, what was that you were scribbling down?
3, Deborah, Emily, and Ashley.
That is correct. And what do you say there, Matt?
3.
3 is correct. Okay, everyone has 5
We're
points.
on radio.
Now, wouldn't it be funny if the next question is, what are their names?
Well, let me tell you something. I mean, to know all 3 names is pretty good. In fact, you spelled Deborah wrong. It's Debra, but that was pretty good.
You said spelling doesn't count.
It does not. Okay, here we go. For a short period of time, Ivy Supersonic dated which member of the show? Now, again, this is very easy, Robin.
Very easy.
That's 5. The 5 pointers.
I'm surprised by the ease of these questions.
All right, I'm going to go to Steve first. Steve, what do you have?
Benji Brown.
That is correct. Let's go to Gina.
Benji.
5 points.
Benji.
5 points for Matt. There you go. And Steve is such a super fan, he wrote down Ivy's cell phone number, which is pretty incredible. All right, and one more easy one, just to show people how good you guys are. Here we go. Who from the staff once claimed to have received blowjobs from over 80 women? Someone on our staff received over 80 blowjobs. Well, he actually didn't receive them. He claims he received them.
We don't know what happened.
All right. Everyone is putting their pens down. Let's go to Matt first. Matt, who did you say?
John Hine.
John Hine is correct. 5 points, Steve.
John Hine.
That's right. And Gina.
John Hine.
John Hine for another 5 points. Everybody's on the board with 20.
Everybody's perfect.
Everyone is perfect, but let's move on to the 10-point questions. This is exciting. This is Superfan Trivia Contest. All right.
That was great.
Well, Fred's some genius, huh? All right, here we go. These are for 10 points. They get a little bit harder. Let's see how you all do. What breed of dog is Howard's dog Java? All right, let's... what breed is Howard's dog Java? As you can hear by this music, Robin, it gets a little more intense.
Yes, yes.
The intensity of the music indicates the harder question.
That the ante has been upped.
The ante has been upped. All right, let's go to Gina first. Gina, I had a dog named... Now, this is kind of a tricky question because everyone knows I have another dog.
Yes.
But what kind of dog was Java?
A lab.
A lab is correct. Let's go to Steve. What does it say?
Golden Retriever.
Golden Retriever is wrong, Steve. And let's go to Matt.
Yellow lab.
Yellow lab is wrong. It was a black lab.
Oh, come on. I could have just put lab.
No, the judges, you put the color. I think the judges say it's wrong.
It's wrong. Should have just said lab. Keep things vague. Matt.
Well, now we have someone in the lead.
Gina, you're in the lead now by 10 points with 30. The boys both have 20. Steve, what went wrong there?
Brain fart.
I mean, come on. I talked about that dog for years, Matt. Come on. That's after you.
I took a shot in the dark. I shouldn't have written the yellow, though.
All right. Here we go. This is going to get harder. It ain't going to be easy. Which web temptress did JD ask to have her dog eat peanut butter out of her pussy?
Oh, boy.
Wow. Let me repeat that, because even I had problems with that.
You butchered that one.
Which web temptress did JD ask to have her dog eat peanut butter out of her pussy? In other words, JD was on the air, and he was into this, going to these websites, and he would ask women to do disgusting things, and we found out he was asking women to put peanut butter in their pussy.
And have a dog eat it out?
Right. It was really weird, and this was not on the air when he did this.
He would ask women to do disgusting things like possibly fuck them.
All right, let's go to Gina first. Gina, what do you have for us?
Pussy fur.
Pussy fur is wrong. Let's go. That still leaves you in the lead, though, with 30 points. Steve, do you want to tie this up?
That would be kissy fur.
Kissy fur is correct.
Whoa.
Wow, close one, Gina. Matt, come on, get in there.
Put cookie puss.
Cookie puss. Cookie puss.
I don't know where that came from, but...
All right, let's get you guys on the board. Matt, you have 20. Steve and Gina tied with 30. Ooh. Very impressive game. So much more, and we're not even at the big top categories for the real hard 25-point questions. So let's start with another 10-pointer. Double A stands for what? Double A stands for what? Matt is scribbling. Steve was very quick on the gun. Gina, very confident on this one. I can tell, Robin, by the way they're writing their answers. Double A. You've heard him on the show. All right, I'm going to go to...
He's a super fan.
I'm going to go to Matt first. What does double A stand for, Matt?
Awesome Angelo.
That's 10 points. Let's go right to Steve.
Awesome Angelo.
Awesome Angelo is correct. And Gina?
Awesome Angelo.
Awesome Angelo is correct. Isn't that impressive? Well, you all have interesting scores. Gina and Steve in a dead-heated 40, and Matt has 30. Who is going to win this, Robin? Who is the superfan?
Well, it's still anybody's game.
It's anybody's game is correct. Let's go to Matt. Matt, what do you think of the superfan so far?
Well, I think that they're older than me, and they've lived in the New York area longer.
Is that why you're behind?
I'm the underdog here, I guess.
All right. Steve, is he just whining a lot?
Wah, I missed the point.
Gina, are you feeling more confident now that you're tied for the lead? Are you relaxing?
I'm relaxing, yeah.
All right. Matt on the phone, what do you think of these superfans?
Hey, I gotta tell you what. This is the most intelligent group of people I've heard on your show in a long time, Howard.
Really?
I give it up to Mutt, man. You picked some people that are pretty awesome.
Yes,
These guys are...
Mutt did a very intensive screening of these people, and he did a very, very good job. Let's get back to the game. We have one more 10-point question for you, and then we're going to get to the 25-pointers. This is to find out who listens to the show, who is the biggest superfan.
Guess that last guy didn't hear the Francis Ford Coppola interview.
Which current staff member once got a call from Howard when he was in the hospital with cancer as a kid? Believe it or not, one of our staff members got a call from me. He was a child. He had written me a letter, and I responded to it. Wow, you guys didn't take any time on that one. Which current staff member once got a call from Howard when he was in the hospital with cancer as a kid? I'm going to go to Steve first. Steve, what do you have?
Will, or young Will.
Will is right. Let's go to Gina.
Will.
Will is correct. Matt?
Will Murray.
Will Murray is even more correct. Wow. Robin, come on. Give it to the superfan.
I gotta say, they are on their game.
Okay, now it gets down to 25 points, and we're finally going to have a winner.
This is a big question.
We're talking about a $5,000 prize for the Superfan Trivia Contest provided by Beck's Beer. Beck's, our good friends, give us $5,000 to present to someone. Beck's Beer, discover the taste. And now the real men get separated from the boys. Sorry, Gina.
That's okay.
You know what I mean. Matt, Steve, and Gina, you've come this far. It's anybody's ball game. Matt, you're only behind by 10 points. Matt from Boston.
Haverhill.
Whatever. Steve and Gina.
Close enough,
tied
Matt.
with 50 points. It's anybody's game. Here we go. I'm going to really test your knowledge now with some difficult ones. What year was Butt Bongo Fiesta released? Wow. It was one of those best-selling videos. We did a pay-per-view special around it as well. It was a #1 pay-per-view special. It was a #1 video. What year was Butt Bongo Fiesta released? If you don't know, it always pays to guess, because you're not penalized for getting the wrong answer in this game. I see Gina very confident, Steve shaking his head, annoyed with the question, Matt shaking his head, just ready to vomit. And I'm going to ask you to put your pens down. All right, let's go to Steve first. Steve, you're shaking your head.
Dates of my week. I put 96.
96 is wrong. I'm sorry you're not getting that one. Gina, do you know?
Dates are week 2, but I think it was 89.
89 is not correct. Let's go to Matt. Matt, did you get this one?
1990.
1990 was off by 2 years. 1992. That was a tough one.
Damn.
All right. Here we go. What celebrity was Howard and the crew talking about when the news of the attacks on the World Trade Center broke? It was a very big day in the show's history. I stayed on way too long. That's how I remember 9/11.
I listened to you that entire day. I was in college.
Well, then you should have no problem with this, young man. Matt, Steve, and Gina are all done. They have their pens down.
All right.
Turn off the creepy music, Fred, and let's find out who got this right. Gina, what celebrity was Howard talking about, when the news of the attacks hit? Who is it?
Pam Anderson.
Pam Anderson is correct. Let's go right to Steve.
Pamela Anderson.
Pamela Anderson, 25 points. Matt?
Pam Anderson.
Pam Anderson it is. Okay.
Pamela Anderson.
Pamela Anderson.
Nicolas Cage.
Matt's got 65 points. Steve's got 75, and Gina you've got 75. It's a tie score, and you're only behind by 10, Matt. You got to pick up 125-pointer.
I should have got that Butt Bongo Fiesta one. That sucks.
You were pretty close on that one. All right, here we go. This one's tough. I don't say they're easy. On what late-night TV show did Howard's mom make a surprise appearance? I went on a TV show. My mother showed up, sitting there, paneling. Oh, I'm on TV. I'll take credit for Howard's career.
I don't even remember that.
On what late-night TV show did Howard's mom make a surprise appearance? All the pens are down, Robin. While you are not a super fan, Robin, these guys are. All right, we're going to go to Matt first. Matt, what's the answer? 25 points.
Letterman?
Letterman is wrong. Let's go to Gina.
David Brenner.
Is correct for 25 points. Wow. And let's get right over to Steve. What did you say?
David Brenner.
David Brenner is correct. This is some game. Matt, you're falling behind.
That might be a death knell for Matt.
Might be the swan song for Matt, behind 35 points. Matt, what happened there?
I was, probably 7 years old when that happened.
No excuse. Steve and Gina, you are tied at 100 points. Steve, Gina's a little tougher than you thought.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Gina, can you believe you're in it to win it?
Yes.
All right, let's get on with it. These don't get any easier. These 25-point questions test who is really a super fan and who is not. Matt.
Matt, wait outside for us.
Yeah, Matt, can you clean Artie's shoes?
You never know what can happen.
All right, come on, hang in there, pal.
You're
Get tough.
wicked bad.
Wicked pisser.
Yo, wicked pisser. Okay, here we go for 25 points. Howard and his wife, Beth, first had sex on whose bed? I should actually say she was my girlfriend when we first had sex. We did not save ourselves for marriage. Howard and Beth
Yeah,
first
because that would be a different answer.
Howard and Beth first had sex on whose bed? Steve thinking about it. Gina still writing. Matt, okay, everyone's done.
Uh-oh. What's going to happen
All right, let's go to Steve. Steve, what did you have there?
Dominic Barbara.
Dominic Barbara is correct for 25 points. Gina, what did you say?
Dominic Barbara.
That is correct, Matt.
Oh,
That's right, Dominic Barbara, Matt. You're in it.
Nice, Matt.
Okay.
Is that a good one?
nice.
Very nice.
Real pisser.
Very nice. All right, here we go. Tough one. I think this is a real hard one. You only have 2 more questions left, and then I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't break this tie. 2 more questions left. Here's a 25-point question. Matt, you need to get this one right, or else you're going to really fall far behind. Steve and Gina, no problem. You're tied. Ronnie Mund, Ronnie the limo driver Mund, has a tattoo of his departed dog on his arm. What is that dog's name? He said it maybe 3 or 4 times on the air, not often. Only a true superfan pays attention. Matt is shaking his head angry. Steve is sweating. And Gina hasn't scribbled a thing. Matt is done. He's got that look like, I've got this one wrong.
Gina's now writing.
Gina is writing. Ronnie Mund has a tattoo of his departed dog on his arm. What's the dog's name? This separates the true superfans from the fans.
I think if I get this wrong, I'm mathematically eliminated.
Matt is thinking. Steve is still thinking. Gina is thinking. I'm giving them extra time. Robin is looking at photos of her boyfriend.
I'm not. I'm looking at the super fans and wondering when people are going to start writing or stop writing and put their pen down.
All right. Gina's shaking her head. I'm going to go to you first, Gina. Steve, put your pen down if you would. Gina, what do you have for us?
Mike Weiser.
Weiser is not the name of Ronnie's dog.
No, he's a super fan of yours who passed away this week.
Very nice of you to mention him. And Mike, our condolences, but wherever you are. All right, Steve, what do you say?
I went with Mocha, trying to go with the shop.
Yeah, Mocha is not right. What is it? What is the name, Matt?
I took
Lonnie.
a chance that he named his dog after Lonnie from...
Good guess. You know, I always thought it was a great name for a dog. The dog is Bots, which is Italian, for crazy. All right, nobody got that, so no harm, no foul.
Score?
The score is as follows, Matt. You are behind. You have 90 points. Normally that would be good, but your 2 competitors, Steve and Gina, are tied at 125 points.
I can't win.
Not with one
Not
question.
with one
left.
question.
No.
When you look to the left, just think Aaron Boone and Bucky Dent.
Yeah. I'll think of 2004. It makes me sleep better at night.
You have to be very exact on this last question, because this could be the whole enchilada. And Steve and Gina, this is tough. And you got to be precise. What is Vinny Favale's official job title?
Oh, dear.
What is Vinny Favale's official job title? Now, I'm going to be a little bit lenient on this, but not much. Really think it through. What is Vinny Favale's official job title? Now, if you're a super fan, you would, of course, know who Vinny Favale is.
But do you know his title?
If you were a casual fan, you might not even know who that tiny cherub is. All right. Here we go. Matt laughing. Knows he's out of it, but still playing along like a true super fan.
Just happy to be here, Howard.
Right. That's the attitude of a loser. Steve? All right. Gina, you done? All right. Here we go. Let's go to Matt first. He can't technically win, but he's still playing, and I admire
I
that.
put head of public relations?
That's why you're not winning. No.
Unbelievably wrong.
All right, Steve, you're tied for the lead. This could be it. Let's see what you've got. Let's analyze it.
Director of Late Night Programming, East Coast.
Director of Late Night Programming, East Coast.
Do you accept that?
Howard, there's two things missing from it that are very important.
Yeah.
Can I say what it is?
I can write it down real quick if you want.
No, we have to accept that answer. It's
the two things that are missing are CBS and Vice President.
Vice President.
Yeah,
right.
it's CBS Vice President of Late Night Programming, East Coast.
Not director.
Yeah, it's been said many times.
Be precise.
Let me check with the two judges in there, the two Yentas, Gary Delabate and John Hine. Guys, what do you think? Can I give him that one or not?
I don't think you can give it to him.
Come on, John.
Because you said be precise.
If he would have said any of those words in the wrong order, I'd give it to him.
Gina, let's see what you have.
Executive Vice President of Late Night Programming.
Missing CBS.
She's missing East Coast.
East Coast is crucial.
If I saw East Coast or CBS, I'd give it to you, Gina, but I can't.
That's crucial.
Neither one of you get it.
CBS Vice President of Late Night Programming, East Coast.
Because West Coast would mean something.
Yes. Well, I do need a tiebreaker here.
You got anything else?
All right, okay, I'm going to whip out one that I think should be a tiebreaker. I hope this is it, because I'm running out of questions, Robin. I'm embarrassed to say, but okay, here we go. For a tiebreaker, and to figure out who gets the $5,000 from Bex, and who really is the king of all superfans. You, whose name we will hail if you win. It's either Steve or Gina, truly, of all time. Here we go. Matt, play along because we love to hear your accent. From Haverhill. Okay, here we go. What movie did Howard and his ex-wife Allison see on their first date? I've mentioned this in my books. I've mentioned it many times.
I just read Private Parts. I can't think of it.
Matt, calm down and think. That's why you run into trouble. And in fact, because this is a tiebreaker situation, you could at least redeem yourself with this one. My ex-wife is from Haverhill. Family from Haverhill. You should know this.
I do know that.
All right. But that's not what we need from you. Let's get this one going. What movie did Howard and his ex-wife Allison see on their first date? Think about it. I've said it a couple of times on the air, and I wrote about it in Private Parts. Any true superfan would use that as their Bible. All right, put down your pens, and let's go to Gina, who is nodding her head. What did you have?
I don't have anything, Howard.
Nothing.
I just reread Private Parts.
Not
too,
even a
because
guess.
yeah.
All right, sorry, Gina. Steve, what do you have? Come on.
Stab in the dark. Rosemary's Baby.
Not right, but a good guess. Pays to guess. What do you have, Matt?
I'd put Butch Cassidy in the '60s. And then I wrote a little note to Emily. I love you, Emily, and Jacoby.
All right. Robin, you know the answer to this, don't you?
I do not.
It's my baby.
I know.
Go ahead, Fred.
Lenny.
Lenny, yes, the movie Lenny Bruce.
Benji knew it too.
Starring Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, that's
Dustin Hoffman.
And Valerie Perrine.
Valerie Perrine. He don't really know.
That would have
All
been
right,
a good
now we-
opportunity.
Mega cheese, Jamie.
That's right.
You still have a tie.
We still have a tie, so I'm going to go to another tiebreaker. We might be here all year. Well, that's one way to keep us from going on vacations.
We never get out of the game.
Okay, I'm giving you another tiebreaker. Superfans, put on your thinking caps. What Tom Cruise movie did Kenneth Keith Kallenbach have a scene in before it was cut? Kenneth Keith Kallenbach recently died. We miss him. He was a big fan of the show himself.
I don't
Contacted
think
us.
this is going to be a tiebreaker.
And got on to have his sort of fame in his areas and died in prison, actually. But what Tom Cruise movie did Kenneth Keith Kallenbach have a scene in before it was cut? The superfans are writing. Steve is the last one to put his pen down. I'm going to go to Matt first. Matt, go ahead.
I said Rain Man.
Rain Man is not correct. Steve, go ahead.
I originally wrote Jerry Maguire, but I believe it was Vanilla Sky.
Vanilla Sky is not correct. Let's go to Gina. Gina?
Jerry Maguire.
That is correct.
You screwed yourself,
25 points. You are a superfan extraordinaire. Wow. Well, Steve and Gina are making out. Matt shaking hands. Steve, I thought you had that one.
You had
I did have it.
What went wrong? You crossed out the right answer.
Yeah.
You had Jerry Maguire. Why did you cross it out?
I just, I knew that was Artie's movie.
That's the same one I got cut out of.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it was the two of them
I'm a
together.
loser.
Steve, you didn't make it. Matt, you didn't make
Well, as
it.
Artie always says,
close.
the year I was born was the year Steve got his first DUI. So
We hail Gina.
Oh, my
yes.
God, I can't believe I won.
Very beautiful Gina, who hangs around with Beetlejuice and Bob Levy. She hangs out with all the Whack Packers. Gina, what's your last name?
Wasik.
Wasik.
W-A-S-I-K.
Steve, what's your last name? You did well.
Ashoni.
Ashoni. And Matt, what's yours?
Ryan.
Ryan. Well, Gina, you are a winner. Congratulations. $5,000. Now to present your check.